people, good people, help me out.
Miss Grüß dich. Was wünschst du?
I'd like to go into the gardens. Why are you on guard here?
I'm afraid my sister is resting in the gardens and doesn't wish to be disturbed.
That's a very fine sword you have, Goodman.
And so it should be. It was made by my father, a master swordsmith.
Well, you can tell it's perfectly balanced at first glance. I may not be able to see the blade, but the way the hilt is fitted is clearly the work of a master craftsman.
It seems you know your stuff, good man.
I'm an apprentice swordsmith.
For someone from Kuttenberg? I'm surprised I haven't seen you before.
No, my master is Martin Menschy from Prague. We're just traveling north. My master wants to deliver a piece in person.
You don't say! Master Menschy is in Kuttenberg? Do you think I could talk to him? I admire his work, and so does my father.
Of course. Come to the Hangman's Halter Tavern. My master will be pleased to have company.
Thanks! If you want to enter the gardens, go ahead. Just keep away from my sister. My father has forbidden her to speak to men.
Don't worry. I'll give you my word as a swordsmith.
Wiedersehen.
Are you Miss Adletta?
If you're another servant of some townsman who wants to confess his love for me, then kindly get away. You can tell him his courtship is over because I'm engaged.
You're mistaken. My name is Henry, and I was sent by Caspar Rudolph. It's about that book he lent you.
Caspar? Oh, the poor thing got a proper hiding from my father. How is he?
His vineyards aren't bringing in much, and he's generally not doing too well. That's why I'm here, in fact. Bushek's book may not be the most precious manuscript in the world, but it'll help Caspar.
When we were friends, he gifted me that book. There was no mention of it being on loan, and now he wants it back all of a sudden?
Caspar really needs that book. I mean, I need it.
And I need an explanation. Gifts aren't meant to be taken back.
It's about the ancient secret of the monks at Sedlet's monastery. Caspar Havel... No, sorry, Rudolph Havel... I mean, Caspar Rudolph wants me to pretend to be Havel.
You what?
No, not to be Havel, but to pretend to understand him so he can find out what his cousin knows about it.
Forget it. I have no idea what you're talking about.
No offense, miss, but are you even interested in a treatise on wine?
Of course not. But Caspar kept going on about it, and I wanted to make him happy. Since I've been locked up here, I've even tried to read it out of sheer boredom, so that I don't have to embroider all the time.
If you like reading, I can recommend some books you might enjoy more.
Who do tell? I like to broaden my horizons, although I doubt the books will be easy to find.
What about some chivalric epics? The Charlemagne cycle is full of adventure, love, and betrayal. You might like the Song of Roland, for instance.
Isn't it all in French?
Of course. Literature should be read in the original language.
You don't look like you speak French. And I don't either. If it was in German or Latin, that would be different.
I could buy it from you.
Henry, I have everything I could possibly want. And I don't need your coin. My father buys me everything I ask for.
Not everything can be bought.
You're right. But I'm rather picky. I don't have to have everything I set my eyes on.
If you don't give it to me, I'll have to leave.
Don't think I care about the book. But I have to amuse myself somehow. Maybe we'll speak again someday. Hands off! Thief! Help! Come, quick! Where is everyone?
So, here you are. Now I've got you. Give up!
All right!
Thief!
You caught me!
Go and arrest him!
I surrender!
Quickly!
Now I'll show you. You're a pickpocket and a lousy one at that. Pay up and show me what you've got.
I'm very sorry. This is just a big misunderstanding.
What do you mean, misunderstanding?
There was a bee on that purse.
A bee? What are you on about?
I just wanted to shoo it away. Back in my village, my friend got stung by a bee once. He swelled up like a frog and died.
And you're telling me the bee was sitting on top of the purse?
Mm-hmm.
Then what were you looking for inside of it? Another bee? That's the stupidest excuse I've ever heard.
All right, I'll pay. I don't want any trouble.
Now, let's have a look at what you've stolen. Show me the goods. And if I find anything else on you that doesn't belong to you, I'll confiscate that too.
Take a look then.
Good. You don't have anything else on you that doesn't belong to you. In that case, an indulgence will suffice. Now be on your way. Get out of my sight! We're done here, right? So clear off.
Sei gesund.
Come and take your pick.
Tools! Iron tools! Tools here!
The finest wares.
What?
But the old man just isn't up to it anymore. He wanted her to stop pestering him. So we made...
Christ, what a day.
Onions,
Strong, well-made pots.
For sale, big strong pots.
Goodman Harville. May I?
You again? I'm the owner, you understand? I don't pour drinks for guests. Speak to the ale wench. Take care.
Hey, innkeeper, that beer!
See you later, my friend.
Goodman Harville. May I?
Do I know you, good man?
No, I don't believe so. But I'd like to speak to you.
Aha! What can I do for you, good man?
When I asked where I should go in this city for good wine, your inn was recommended.
You've come to the right place. You won't find better wine in this city. Have you come from far away?
Very far, Goodman. I'm Henry, and I rarely hear my name spoken in my native tongue.
You don't say. Where's the last place you were?
Saxony, Bavaria, and so on. The German states, basically.
Wonderful. It's not often I get the chance to talk to someone so well-traveled. It'd be nice to have someone to discuss the drink of kings with.
An invitation I can't refuse. Thank you.
Well, good man, how shall we begin our tasting? Ah, I know. How about a little white to begin with?
Excellent.
So, what do you say to that?
Hints of vanilla. That's uncommon. And I have to say, that greenish spring colour is perfect.
You're right. A rare flavor and color tone. It's essentially a lighter wine. I like it because it's suitable for many occasions. When I don't know what to serve, I pull out a Moravian white. My father-in-law loves it. He'll be a blessed 70 years old this year, so I'm giving him a few casks to make his old age a little merrier.
That's very kind of you.
There's nothing but misers in this town. They wouldn't think twice about taking their own mother's last piece of bread. I'm not like that. Do I have money? Of course. But I don't hoard it. I try to make people around me happy.
And you're treating me to this wine. You're a real Samaritan. And like it says in the Bible, you give drink to the thirsty.
Anyway, let's have a cup of something else.
My thoughts exactly.
What shall we... Ah, I know. Let's have some red. How about a young Blaufränkisch from Austria? Or as we call it in Bohemia, Blue Frankovka.
From you, Goodman, anything. Pour away.
Quite a decent vintage.
Oof. Rather bitter.
Bitter, yes. But it is a young wine.
All right, but the colour. It's not blue at all. More of a purple. That doesn't seem right.
It's not supposed to be blue. The name is a reference to it not being as red as other wines. It's more a play on words.
Ah, forgive me. I've never heard of such a wine.
Don't worry. Nobody knows everything. Except for my wife. You said you spent time in the German lands. What wine do the local connoisseurs rate highest?
Anything from the Steinberger vineyard in Eberbach Abbey. It's the largest vineyard in the Holy Empire. It's admirable how they have everything so organized, precise, and measured. Truly a joy to behold.
Yes, yes. The monastic brothers know what they're doing. I can confirm that. I have something from the local monastery as well. We should taste it. Well then, let's move on to the next one. After all that quality stuff, let's refresh ourselves with something simpler. Would you like a Hippocras?
Certainly. The better ones will go straight to our heads. And I'll admit, I do like it from time to time.
Nothing to be ashamed of. It's not easy to make a good Hippocras. Mine has an unusual ingredient in it. Let's see if you can tell what it is.
I don't know. I'd say it's made with love?
Of course it is. But I meant a real ingredient, not some poetic nonsense.
Well, in that case, I couldn't tell you.
It's not that difficult. It's mint. But there's something off about it. Doesn't it seem a bit bland to you? As though it's missing something?
Ginger. It's missing ginger.
But of course. The cook told me they didn't have any at the market. You have a refined tongue, good man. I'll give you that. After that hippocras, we should have something more high class. I've got a rare Hungarian wine from Eger. Very strong and very sweet.
Bring it on. This is no time for weak wine.
My thoughts exactly. So what do you think? Good, isn't it?
Very good and very red. Besides that, it has a sort of raised taste at the end of the tongue.
Raised taste? What do you mean?
It's hard to explain, but it really is very red.
As anyone can see at first glance. What will you tell me next? That the sky is blue?
And isn't it?
I drank this particular wine from Eger at a banquet held to celebrate the new city council. Hungarian government, Hungarian wine, and Hungarian delicacies. I was so looking forward to enjoying some nice Hungarian sausages or pate, but I ended up leaving disappointed.
How so?
They started bringing out melons, apples, plums, and all sorts of other fruit. And finally, they served fish. I don't eat fish, and fruit makes me burp. So I went hungry at a feast.
Oh, that's very unusual. Fruit, fish, and red wine. Maybe it's some sort of Hungarian custom.
I was so disappointed that I wanted to make myself something at home to get rid of the taste. But I was so drunk that I fell asleep. The housekeeper woke me up, and what can I tell you? The porridge was charcoal. The kitchen was like a smokehouse, and I had egg on my face. Well, that's Hungary checked off the list. What's next?
How about something local? I noticed there were vineyards in Kuttenberg.
But of course, we have vineyards and grapes from Burgundy that Emperor Charles himself had brought in. The local vintners grow some fine grapes, but they're still learning everything that comes after that. The local stuff gets diluted a lot. They flavor it with all sorts of shit, or leave it for vinegar.
Don't tell me you don't have a drop of anything local that would be worth trying.
Well, there's the monastery secret. A wine from the Sedlets monastery. My cousin Jerome is the custodian of the monastery vineyard.
Ah. Why is it called secret?
Taste it, and you'll see.
You're right. The taste isn't the best. And it's flavoured with something, isn't it? Honey, maybe? Or some sort of spice?
I hope I didn't pour you a different wine. The monastery wine is some of the best you can find around Kuttenberg.
Ah. It might have gone to my head, and I don't know what I'm saying. So what is the secret?
I've heard the monks add a secret ingredient to the wine.
A secret ingredient? How do you know that?
Like I said, my cousin Jerome is the custodian of the monastery vineyard, and I handle their supply. Sometimes I bring food for the workers, new barrels, tools and the like. And from time to time, I bring them a sealed crate which smells peculiar. Jerome didn't want to tell me what's in it, but when I insisted, he told me it's some kind of incense they burn in the barrels.
Really? I've never heard of such a thing.
Neither have I. But like I said, the chest was sealed and the whole thing is shrouded in secrecy.
A real monastery secret. What should we drink next?
I'm glad you like my wine. But that's enough tasting for today. After all, I've offered you everything worth trying, and now the wine is starting to go to my head. But you're welcome to stay in my tavern as long as you like. I have to say, I really enjoyed our chat. It's rare to meet someone who really understands wine.
I enjoyed your company a lot too. Nevertheless, I won't keep you, Goodman, and I'll bid you farewell.
Farewell, and if you decide to extend your stay in Kuttenberg, stop by for a drink again.
Definitely. God be with you.
Careful.
I'm thinking of buying a rover, or maybe a punt. Last time it rained for a week straight, we were up to our knees in a river of shit. Good day.
Light aroma of exotic fruits and a color that has sparkle. Good afternoon, sir.
I spoke to Havel.
And how did it go?
Good. I had to drink a bit of wine to get some answers out of him, but I sacrificed myself for the cause.
And what did he say?
It took a while, but in the end, he told me sometimes crates of a special incense are brought to the vineyard, and they apparently burn it in the barrels.
What? Incense? And he wasn't just yanking your pizzle or too drunk?
He may have been drunk, but he was telling the truth. He doesn't know what incense it is, just that they get it delivered.
Right, and here's a small reward so you don't go around saying old Casper's ungrateful. But now I need you to look into it further. We need to find out what this special incense is for. We'll have to take a look in the vineyard and take some of that incense.
We, meaning me, right?
Of course I mean you. See how well we understand each other?
All right. But the vineyard is pretty big, isn't it? I haven't a clue where to look for something like that.
It's big, true. But there's a vineyard house right in the middle. The custodian lives there, as well as the workers. And it's also where all the supplies are stored. Besides, there's also a side garden where they grow new varieties of grapes. If you could manage to bring me a few seedlings, they could greatly help my own vineyard.
Where exactly is the vineyard?
A short way to the north of town. It's pretty large, you can't miss it.
How do I get in? Isn't it guarded?
The simplest thing would be to get hired as a laborer. There'll be lots of work there now that it's summer.
What if they catch me?
You have to be careful. The vineyard is closely guarded, especially at night, and thieves are punished very severely. Don't get caught.
I'm on it then.
Good luck, and take care, Henry. By the way, what about the business with the Manlikas? Did you manage to get hold of the book by Bouchek?
Yes, Miss Adletter is sweet. And she even gave me back your book. Here it is.
Ah, thanks very much. I'll try to sell it and pay off at least some of my debts. God be with you, good sir. An elegant and lean flavor, light aroma of exotic fruits, and a color that has sparkle. This is my white wine. Give it a taste.
God grant your health.
Where are you headed? Come back. We need to talk.
Whoa! Whoa!
It's him! It's him!
Are you hiring?
Us? Always. But don't be fooled. It's hard work. Days spent bent over in the sun. It's not for everybody. But you'll get a few groschen, something to eat, and a place to lay your head.
That sounds good.
I'll tell you tomorrow. For now, go and speak to the custodian, Jerome. He'll tell you what to do. Any questions?
What's in that building in the middle of the vineyard?
Vineyards aren't just vines. They need a place to sort, press, and wash the grapes. And we also need a place to lay our heads. We spend half a year up on this scorching hill after all.
What's the master custodian like?
Jerome? He's my cousin, and he gave me this job. Can't complain about him.
And the others?
I don't know, but I've never heard any complaints. You'll see for yourself soon enough.
I'll be going then.
All right, run along. Jerome will be waiting near the winery. And remember, wine is liquid gold, so we keep everything well guarded.
Don't worry. I don't steal.
I have to say that because we do get light-fingered individuals here from time to time. And now you know everything, off you go to work. God be with you, good sir.
Hail!
Good day to you.
Well, good day.
I'm supposed to report to you. I'm new here.
Excellent. Another young shoot ready to sprout and produce the delicious fruits of labor.
What?
Oh, nothing, lad. I'm just admiring your youth and the joyful energy you surely bring with you. But that's not why you're here.
I was sent to ask what you want me to do.
You'll start today. Because why wait? There are a few hours left before the velvet blanket of night covers our vineyard.
Of course. I'll get to work then.
Excellent. What enthusiasm! What vigor! As our youngest laborer, you will be in charge of the eternal battle against the weeds that choke our beautiful plants. As soon as you spot one, imagine you're King David and uproot that evil from our land forever, just as he uprooted the Philistines from Israel.
If you hand me a slingshot, I can take on Goliath.
We hand out slingshots in autumn when we have trouble with starlings. Apart from that, you'll sometimes see a sack at the end of a row. In it are clippings and bad plants which you will take to the dung heap behind the winery here, where their earthly existence ends in the process known as decay.
All right. That doesn't sound too complicated. Weeding and organising a funeral for some plants.
To tell the truth, lad, work in the vineyard isn't complicated, but it is hard. I therefore suggest you don the vintner's crown, a straw hat. Do you have any other questions?
What's in this building here?
This is the winery, lad. It's the heart of the vineyard. Of course, The grapes must ripen in the vineyard and are harvested there. But here in the winery they are sorted, pressed, and poured into barrels. As soon as we put the wine in barrels, it travels to the cool and dark monastery cellars, where it ages.
Where can I lay my head?
I shall take you there right away. I have to show you where to take the sacks in any case.
I'll get to it then.
May God bless your work. On you go, lad. Here it is, the final resting place of weeds from our vineyard, and a vast haven for flies, the dung heap. This is where you shall bring the sacks, and moreover, after a hard day's toil, you can lay your head down in that hut over there. Questions?
I'm supposed to sleep beside the dung heap?
It's perfectly healthy, and I wouldn't worry about the smell. The odor emanating from the other beds will be worse.
Great.
Now, get to work. The vineyard is large and there's plenty of work.
God bless.
This crate smells like sulfur. This could be it.
Good to see you.
don't think I can't see.
Oh, what? Yeah. Are you gonna start blubbering again and sell on it?
Wine from the best grapes, ripened in the... Jesus Christ be praised.
I'm back, and I've got the mysterious monastery incense. It looks like wood chips soaked in sulfur. It stinks a bit.
They were smoking barrels with this. Sulfur is the stink of hell, and this is a monastery vineyard.
Maybe there's another reason. The miners in Skalitz used to say where there's sulfur, it's easier to breathe. Healthier air.
But it sticks to high hell.
So do many noble delicacies, and they're still delicious.
I suppose you're right. I'll give it a try. I hope it doesn't make my wine reek. Here's your reward, like we agreed, and something to read. I don't want you saying I didn't do you right.
I almost forgot. I have the seedlings.
Ah! I'm curious what they'll grow into. You've made me doubly happy, Henry. So, here's a little something on top for you. Take care. Forget the swill from Burgundy and Tuscany. The best wine comes from Czech soil.